Well, hello there. Welcome along, everyone. Nice to see you. Happy Wednesday evening. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome along to something a bit different for us. Move over, so I'm in the middle of this frame. Here we go. How are we all doing? Nice to have you all here. Yeah, something a bit different. Hello, Jaw. Nice to see you, bro. Jaw and I play games together lots. It's one of my mates we play PUBG with. You're doing great. Good to hear. Good to hear. I am doing well. Thank you, my friend. Yes, anyhow, we're doing something a little bit different. I wanted to do something on Aussie No Man's Land, and I've come up with a little bit. It's not a start from scratch from the, $0, start with a lawnmower and a hatchet and that sort of start from scratch. It's a little bit different. I've given a bit of an idea in the description on what we're going to be doing, and I will go through and explain it in just a little bit more detail, but you'll see we do have $500,000 in the bank account, which there's a purpose behind it. So I'll go through and explain it all, and we'll just see how it goes. I thought this would be a cool thing to do on a live stream, because if it's a big farm, just farming one field can get a bit tedious and boring for content. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is going to be my sort of replacement for No Creek Farms. I'm looking at moving the multiplayer we have been doing on a Wednesday night to the weekend. I did put a little bit of a poll up in Discord to see if people were interested in that, if it increased the number of people who could join, which it seemed to so far. So make sure you jump on Discord if you've been on the multiplayer servers, and just give your reaction there between the S and the W for Sunday or Wednesday. And yeah, we'll figure things out. But yeah, I thought, it gives more chance being the weekend, more chance for people to get in. I know it's obviously 9 a.m. or so, 8 a.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. in Europe. So for some people it doesn't work when it's Wednesday. So yeah, have a look at that. Anyhow, I'm going to say hello to everyone now. Dazza is the multiplayer just for members. No, we've got Shellbrook and Almas. There's two multiplayer servers which are open to absolutely anyone. We do have one on Southern Pastures, which is a members only one, but we do have a couple that are open. Alma's possibly going to change, or in fact both of them are getting towards the end of their life, so they'll probably be refreshed sometime in the next month to 2 months. So but there is always a couple of servers open to anyone to join. G'day Grant, how you doing? Nice to see you. Pro Farmer, what did I say? Pro Farmer DK, how you dude? Nice to see you as well. Mrs. Professor, hello, looking forward to the new amp. Yeah, so am I, as am I. Ben, g'day, nice to see you as well. Killer's Remorse, hello from California. You're up. Have you stayed up late, or are you up early? One or the other. Heath, good to see you. Good evening, my friend. Yoran, good morning, mate. Welcome along. Nice to have you here. As I said, love from the land down under people, indeed. Finish Farmer, good to see you as well. Who else? I'm going to have to scroll back up because everything just raced past as we were starting off. Belly, hello. Nice to see you. Welcome along. Bovine's here. G'day, mate. Nice to have you here. Farmer Ed, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Killer's Remorse, first live with Aussie. Nice. Good to have you here. Ryan Goebel. Hello, hello. Grumpy Grey Farmers in here. Bruce Stewart as well. Chinook, I saw you there too, my friend. Welcome along. And I think that is up to date. Thomas, snuck in down the bottom. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Love the tour I did with his map. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like about the map. And if we'll just jump in here, let's just have a quick look. Dead center. If you haven't had a look, it's got these red markers. And I like the way the grid is all set out. But basically, what we've done, I've already bought a plot of land. Under Nard, I was thinking, do we go small and start off with a plot like 113, which is a bit smaller? Or do we go bigger? Well, because of the way I'm doing this playthrough, I thought I would go a little bit bigger. So that's that done. I've also got some starting equipment. Now, I've set myself some rules with some starting equipment. Obviously, we could have gone big. We could have, waited next week, waited for the weekend, and got the new Steiger, which I can't wait to play with, by the way. Custom Modding have done an awesome job with that. If you haven't seen it, keep an eye out for that coming out this week. We could have gone big, could have gone like that and that, but I thought I need to try and limit it somehow. So we've stuck with pre-1990s loosely. I say loosely because I couldn't get everything pre-1990s without getting too carried away. And not pre-1990s on some of the equipment, but pre-1990s with the trucks and tractors and things like that. And then I limited myself to 300 horsepower because I figured that would reduce the size of some of the equipment I could use. And everything is going to be in debt. So by the time we've finished building the farm up today, we will be in debt, and considerably in debt, if you want to say. So there we go. We don't have a very big combine. What's this 20-foot header on it? So that's certainly going to be a little bit of a stumbling block for us, or a little bit of a hurdle. Not hurdle. It's going to be a bit slow using that, but it's a 2188 there. the truck, the Mack RS700 from BC Beulah, and then the old trailer pack. We've got a bale trailer there, and of course we had to have a lusty tipper. I mean, we're in Australia, why not? What else have we got? We've got this big, I love this big V-rake. This just covers so much ground. And I thought, seeing we're going to be starting off with some grass work, the Schneickel V-rake is a must. And we've got this sort of auger wagon here. It's a lizard tandem. A lot of these are off Mod Hub. Some aren't, but most of them are off Mod Hub. I thought that'd be a bit of a different auger wagon. I used to see lots of auger wagons around when I was growing up, and they'd be similar to that with the auger on the back, the green and yellow. So they weren't John Deere, but they looked John Deere. So I thought, hey, we'll try that out. Field bin, very much an Australian thing, oversized load, so I thought, why not, we'll get one of those. Now, the first of the tractors, I was tempted to go to the 40 series, but I haven't used this 4955 series before, the 4755, so we have gone down that route. It had the brackets for the front loaded too, so I thought that'd be pretty cool. And then we've got this bale grab on it. So that tractor, I did have this all written down, how big it is, but we'll have a look at the horsepower. I think it's about 180, 190, I think, from memory. So that is what we're doing. You're all set up for the multi-flow today. Oh, Yoran, have you got your PC? Have you got a PC now? I didn't realise you'd got back into PC gaming. That's awesome if you have. Planters, seeders, we're starting off with just these 5100 case. So we've got 3 of them because these have the sides that pull out, so you can extend the side out both sides and hook one up sort of in tandem, or we're going to go for the triple setup on that. So that will cover about 15 meters, which is quite a nice big width. Yes, got it last night. Awesome, mate. Oh, that's exciting. Cool. I didn't realize you were getting close to getting that. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, if you can join on Saturday night, that'd be awesome. Yes, what else is there? So we got the Batwing mower. Again, didn't go for something oversized. We could have gone for a big triple setup or something, but that is the mower we've got. We've got a fertilizer spreader, and then the old Heston baler and a bale wrapper. And this is the one specifically for the Heston baler. So we can start off by making a bit of silage. Even went for the Aussie gold wrap on that. Something a bit different. And our big tractor, and this is pretty much bang on 300 horsepower, the 2870 Traction King. And then we've got the John Deere plow on the back, 670. And lastly, we got a Hilux. Everyone needs a Hilux. I hadn't actually noticed it had a dog in the front. I knew it had the flag, but look at that. Dog in the front. So that's the equipment. So going back to this whole start from scratch experiment is I want to achieve a $20 million farm. So at the moment, if we go into the money, this should be accurate. A lot of setting up, we've gone into figuring things out. So I've spent 1.185 million on vehicles. I've got it all in a spreadsheet. The piece of land we've purchased is 401,000. So we've got just under 1.6 million dollars there. Now, based on that value, we go into here to take a loan. Max amount we can take at the moment is 280. That's because we've got $500,000 cash. So we take that out. I think we can get about a $1.78 million loan. So that will cover the cost of all the equipment. But the reason I've got the $500,000 in there now is for the farm build. And if we start the farm build, put the sheds down, we should be able to get some equity out of those to increase our loan value. So it's a little bit of playing around to try and figure out what we're going to do. But that is the plan. Anyhow, we will we'll get into it and see how it all works out. So the idea is we'll start off with a whole lot of debt. It's not a start from scratch, as in we are starting from zero with nothing. It's a start from scratch in that we're starting with some equipment with some limited capabilities, and we're building our own farm. We don't have any fields. We've got to make those. What else is there? No seasons. Seasons is off for this one. I normally play with seasons, but I figured we might be able to just make, it's all about making progress. But how do we make progress? And so I thought if we turn seasons off, you know, we can plow our field, plant it, and not worry about having to plow the next one and plant it, and plow the next one and plant it all in the same season. We can sort of plow, plant, get that one growing, then worry about the next one and have them all going at the same time. So that is about it. It's an Australian flag. I'm in Australia, Jaw. It's an Australian map, so kind of had to. Funnily enough, though, it's a left-hand drive Hilux, so it's not completely perfect. Doggy. Right, let's go for a drive. Go up and find our piece of land, and we're going to have a look at that, and then we're going to make a start on building a bit of a farmyard up. See how we go. had someone doing their maize silage earlier this week. They had about 12 tractors running chaser bins going up and down your road past midnight. Oh, yeah, we've had it going in and out of the farm. It's funny actually, because my old man sells it on contract to he contract grows it basically. So the dairy farm down the road needed some silage to top off, so they came in and took out about half a field of silage, and the rest is still there. And then the other paddock field, whatever you want to call it, they did exactly the same on. They came out and took half a paddock or so out of that as well. So he's got sort of 2-part paddocks done, but not finished yet. It's been windy today too, so hopefully it hasn't all been affected and blown over. Didn't look like it had. Is it the Barry Crump? Hilux, always wanted one of them. Yeah, certainly is. If you guys haven't, to those of you in outside of Australia and New Zealand, go and check out the Barry Crump videos on YouTube if they're there. Barry Crump was a character who sold Toyota Hiluxes, or didn't sell them, but featured in the ads for Toyota Hiluxes back in the, what, 90s, Thomas? Gosh, I'm all over the place. Excuse the twitchiness. Right, we must be getting close because we're up to the train tracks. Go over the train tracks. Into the corner, and this is our plot of land in here on the corner. Now, I chose it for a reason. Pop in here again. There we go. We are right there, and this is our bit of land. 2 sides of the road, and then we've got that whole chunk there. I chose it because it was still relatively close to town. Some of the sell points, not too far away, but far enough away we had to drive somewhere, can set up some auto drive on. Also gave some good scope to expand, and it was well connected for roads. So we had a bit of flexibility in how we build our farm. I'll just zoom out. You can see we've got a few trees there to deal with. We are going to have to cut some of those down, but my first plan is, and in fact what I'm going to do is jump out here. Let's go up for a fly, and we'll go and suss out where the far corner is, because I think that's the best way to do it. So if I bring that up, basically around that rock in there somewhere, in that sort of clearing is where I thought we'd put the farmyard. In off the road, come in there, sort of use that rock as a bit of a natural marker for the farm. But we've got all these big open areas in here where we don't actually need to cut down any trees to start with, and we can go and create some fields, mow some grass, and that's that plan. If we get this farm built tonight and we still have some time, we'll go and do a bit of mowing and start on making some silage. The gold of farm sun. But there we go, looking back you can see the rock up there in the center. Look straight down that way, and then straight down that way. So we've got some good big areas in there. Now these plots of land, each of the actual square ones, this one here is 61 acres. I think they're 40 hectares, weren't they? They were 40 hectares. So some decent chunks of land. So yeah, that is the plan. I've got an idea on what I want to build, but I haven't actually given it any proper thought. I'm sort of channeling my inner Southern Cross Station, West Australia farmyards, and gonna sort of just come up with something as we go. So bear with me. There might be some mistakes, there might be some cursing, there might be some undoing and fixing, but I thought we'd just get in here and start on it. So let's go do some landscaping. Let's find where we are first. What's my pack up? Here it is. Right. We're in the right spot. Where's the rock? So there's the rock. So there's kind of a bit of an entrance in there, isn't there? We can come down, and we might have to cut down some trees to make it work. Let's just have a, in fact, it goes right through between there. That looks pretty good actually. Get some things painted and see what happens. Would you get HV Victus AMD Ryzen 7 RTX 4070? Nice. So desktop or laptop you're on? I think you were talking about getting a laptop, weren't you? That'd be awesome. That 4070 would be nice. Cheers everyone. Abalor 12-year-old single malt tonight. One of my favourites. So much down on ours. We put up a tent fence to put cows into. Is that right, Ryan? Thanks for sharing all those photos in Ryan and Discord too, Ryan. It was quite cool to see what you had there and what you were doing. Right, let's go doing a little bit of a paint. I haven't even looked here. Someone actually made the point, and I agree with them. I should have shown all the textures, because actually looking through here, Aussie Modding Co-op have done a great job in actually having a decent number of textures. So let's have a look. What have we got? Pop that up a little bit, and we'll go to circle. one of these tricks that I've been taught is if you see your angle on the mini-map to 270. One more click. Said can I go one more? Back. Forward 4. Can't quite get it. But if you set it like that, you can actually use your keys to go straight forward. So I wanted to dodge that tree and come square off just to get some nice straight lines. We would have been better off doing it that way. So we might try and cut that tree down. I need a stump grinder though. Might even try and cut that one down. Come back. See, that's going to go straight in. Alright, let's just do this. We'll figure out where this is going to go. We can cut down things as we need to. But at least we've got a nice straight edge there. It's not going to be all janky, kind of like the roads are, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. The reason I started off at 500,000 is I can tell how much we've spent on the farm build too. So that is that's what we've started off with. Should probably have used the texture I wanted to use to finish off with, but anyhow, this is what it is. Looks like a Jaguar 900 doing the cutting. That's what most of them are around us, eh? Very Crump was the early 90s. Right, there you go. I can't actually zoom out any further, which I could. So I think, so what do I want to put down? So let's just have a look into sheds. I've got a few sheds in here. We've got the pole barns. Yeah, here we go. Here's a little sneak peek. I've shared some of these on, some images of this on Discord, but this is another mod I've been working on. So we've got a New Zealand style pole shed. There we go. So we've got that one that's a 3-bay, which is 12 meters by 5 meters, 12 meters by 6 meters, 12 by 5, I think they're 4 meter bays. So a pretty small one. We've got a bigger one, which is a 4-bay, which is the same size, but a little bit higher. And then we've got a bigger one. In probably Aussie standards, they're not very big. And I'm just actually looking, so one thing I hadn't noticed is how much slope there was on this area, which probably made it not the best place to build a farmyard. But anyhow, we've committed now, haven't we? Maybe we need to come down further. We actually need to come down further. But yeah, this is a mod I've been working on for quite some time, but just been playing around with it in some downtime. And it also has, because I now know all the ins and outs of how to do the bale store, I've got ones that will do bales. So they can be bale barns. There you go. I haven't done the 5-bay bale barn, but yeah, that's the plan. And while we're showing these off, somewhere in here is the bulk bunkers. Again, I've shared these on Discord too, but we've got a multi-buy bunker, lime, fertilizer, and stones, and then I've got individual ones. Got a stone bunker, manure bunker, fertilizer bunker, and a lime bunker. So you can pull up to those and refill. Basically, it's little buy stations. And on top of that, I've also, somewhere in here, done one just as a bulk bunker, which you can tip if you wanted to buy lime and have it sitting there in bulk. You could do that. So that's something else I've been playing on that I want to try and get onto Mod Hub at some stage. The laptop is I like to have it with me when you're working in the attic. Also downstairs in the evening, spend some time with the wife, and yeah, nice. Yep, that's what I started off with. I've got an HP Omen, when that was my first gaming PC, really, I used for all my content to start with before I upgraded to the desktop. Had a new contractor seated, and it was his first time, so double seated a couple of lines, took out a lot of growth, they all fell over, making it really, I can imagine that would be frustrating. Got it all done though, nice one. Good job, Ron. Hey Michael, how you doing? Right, so back to what I was talking about. Do we have any flatter areas? Quite a way down in here, get to the flat. I'm just wondering whether it's actually worth. What do you think? Is it worth coming all the way down here, putting a longer track in for our farm? Sort of, is it going to come down and past those, through these trees, and actually build our farmyard down here? I think that's going to be the best bet, isn't it? It does give the option. Looking at it, we're going to end up almost coming straight off that road. If I come all the way down in here, it would have been closer to come off that road. It's alright, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's more interesting to do a yard on a slope. Anyhow, I was looking at sheds before I got horribly distracted by my creations. So we've got the span lift shed mods. Now this is actually a mod pack on King Mods by Aussie Modding Co-op. So there's 3 sheds in the pack. We've got the sort of big open shed there, bigger, deeper shed, and we've got the smaller shed, sort of precast panels and that around it. So thought we might use a couple of those as well. What else do I want to put in? I'm going to put some silos in. Probably use, rather than putting a big silo complex in, you know, would actually use some proper bins. We've got a few different options there, but probably some decent sized ones, and make it so it's expandable. Maybe do them in a row where we can expand on it, or maybe one that you can drive down between or something like that. Haven't figured that out just yet, but that's the plan. We get these big 30,000 bushel ones. Actually, they're quite expensive. What's better, 30,000 bushels for 84? Where's a $20,000 one? 40,000. It's 31 bushels. So it's about the same. 2 of those would be 31. One of those is 31. So it's not actually any different. Let's make a road that connects both of them to the end. Yeah, I could do in and out sort of thing, couldn't I? Not sure about building on the slope now. I want to do the yard right at the top. And come down in here. I think I'm going to do it down in here just to make my job a little bit easier. We don't want to spend a whole lot of money on landscaping or anything like that. So build it and then we'll figure out the fields and that around it. Hey Hatlaw, how you doing? Good to see you. Couldn't sleep, so you thought you'd stop in and show me some support. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Right, well now that we've built a road to nowhere, it's like I said, I haven't planned any of this, so I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants and making it up a little bit as we go. So let's have a think. If we were, goodness, it's not a very nice jump, was it? Let's have a think. If we were to do something with this, what sort of road going to come? I'm just going to put a dot where that road would be right about there. Let's just paint something. What texture we use? Bigger. The track coming in about there. Right. So if we come straight down from up there, cut a couple of trees out, it'll come in through there. So let's think. If we're going to come into our yard, I would put a shed. I think if we came in past the yard, we could have one of the sheds sort of in here like that. Kind of turns its back on it, or would be better. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Let's just start off with that sucker there. Hang on, snap. No, let's try and snap them. Just keep it a little bit tidier. The same angle as that track. Right. Put that down there. Here's our first shed. That's going to be, what's that going to be? Truck trailers and auger wagons and all of those kind of things. All of that sort of carry on. So that's a good start. And then this shed here I was going to use a little bit for sort of a workshop, I think. Does it have a door on both ends? No, it's only got the door on one end. So the idea is maybe this needs to go and sit in right about there. Hey Chinook. Thank you very much, mate. Very much appreciated those 5 gifted memberships. Bruce Stewart, Outlaw, worth getting up for, mate. Ryan Lee, Grumpy Grey Farmer, and Ryan Goebel. So 2 Ryans picking those up. Outlaw, Grumpy, and Bruce. Thank you very much, mate. As always, your generosity is very much appreciated. So if we put this in about here, it kind of sits on the entrance. So as you come in the yard, if you need to go into the workshop, you can do a little bit of work. If we just bring it off a little bit, maybe so you've got more space to maneuver in and around. In fact, if we do that, it means we can put the fuel tank. We're going to need some fuel somewhere. That on the other side. So I think let's put that in about there. And then we've kind of got a centered yard. The space here in the middle becomes our yard. Drive in and out of. Get through. Contour around there. It's not to worry. And then I had Gosh, that's an expensive fuel tank. I was going to put that one down because I thought that was kind of cool, but we might be better off just using, well, gravity fill one. But now, maybe that's an upgrade. Future upgrade for the farm. A little bit of leveling to go on. We'll tidy that up a little bit later. See how it goes. Helena, is this no man's land? This is called Aussie no man's, and this is I'll show you in the map. This is a 16x map, so 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. Farm sim terminology is a little bit vague. Well, there isn't any terminology, but people refer to a 16x map as 16 times the standard map. So a standard map is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these is 500 meters. So that's 1, and that's 1. So that corner up in there is 1 map. 2 maps, 3 maps, 4 maps. And then you've got 4 of those down the side. 4 fours is 16. So there's your 16x. But it's actually, because there's 4 maps across 2 kilometers each, it's an 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer piece of ground. So there's a little bit of, you know, people call a standard map a 2 times map. Well, it's not. It's a 1x map. It's 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. It just so happens a 4x map, because it's 4 times the standard map, is 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers, because there's four maps in total on it. So I think that's where it kind of got a little bit confused. But yeah, that's where we are. This is Aussie No Man's, which is a rather large, and yeah, we'll go up and have a look. That's those silos down there. That's not far from the center of the map, so there's as much ground past us as there is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would be, those silos are just there. 1, 2, 4 squares. So between us is a standard map, and then we've got a standard map that way, and 2 more standard maps on the other side of the town. So pretty big beast, pretty big beast. Now, my next thing. So we've got that done. There's 2 other sheds I want to put in. 1 other shed actually. For now. Obviously this yard could develop as we go. In fact, maybe I don't need to. The plan is to put one of these in at some stage. I loved these sheds when they were similar ones on West Aussie. They were pretty cool. So the idea would be maybe to put that in there possibly. Possibly spin it around and bring it in here maybe. And that would give, you know, our yard space. Sheds either side. I think it's the train. Haven't seen the train before. Unfortunately, the train at the moment is just decorative. Aussie Modern Co-op couldn't quite figure out how to get it to work to be drivable, so hopefully that can be fixed at some stage and updated. But back to what I was just saying. So I think if we have that there, wouldn't it be nice to be able to drive through? I think I actually almost want the silos to be in and around these trees. So let's do this. What I'm going to do, put some dots down where I want things. So let's go to something obvious, bump that up in size, change it to a circle. If I was to say start our silos off almost so we can leave those trees, we would have put sort of 1, 2, 3 silos in. I mean, this would all be yard. Want to be able to add onto the silos. We either add on this way. We could always, actually, you know what we could do? We could cut down trees and do a drive around silo. So perhaps we do that for now. But we want to be able to drive past that. And so maybe if we were going to put in a big shed, like that one, we could put it there and then it becomes our sort of drive around. I think that'd work out quite well actually. So let's go back to sort of place marking, space holding. So that would be our shed there. Okay. So we've got a big space, we've got the shed. So then the last things I want to factor in is if we're going to start doing some bales and things like that, would be possibly to put those there. Or we could start a field here. Oh no, that's the other thing I want to have some animals. That's what we could do up on the side of the slope up here. And so this is what I want to do with the animals. I'll go through that in a second. Senji, how you doing? Welcome along. Nice to have you here. Lots of time. G'day, mate. How you doing, Scott? Good to have you here as well. Ben, did I say hello to you earlier? I'm sure I did. I had, yeah, hopefully you can let me know if doing the multiplayer on the weekend might be better for you, Scott. Because that is my plan now, to do those on a Sunday morning. Just have a bit of a swap around. Hey, Aussie Dan, how you doing? Good to see you. Not very good at farm builds, but getting better at farm builds. My problem is when I get done with a farm build, I start thinking I need to add more things to the farm. I hear you. I don't do a lot of them, to be honest. But I've always enjoyed it when I do, so. So what I was talking about is sheep. Let's have a look at sheep. So I wanted to use the new expandable pastures. So my plan was, this is how I wanted to use expandable pastures. So let's just imagine we put this up here. This is the pasture as such. This is the feed area and everything like that. So you put that down, then you can come in here and do your pasture expansions, and I love this. So you could put in a 25 by 50, and that's going to make my sheep, I'm allowed to have 50 more sheep on that one. What about a 50 by 50? Adds 100 more sheep. So what I really want to do, I can't be bought because I haven't got a pasture to put it in next to. So let's do this. Let's just have a think. We put only 15, 25. I think that's going to be the best bet because that's got the feed triggers and everything like that. So what I want to do is this. Put that down there. I'm going to have to do some terrain leveling and landscaping and whatnot. Is that the animal mud there? Put some of that down so we can see where things are. We'll sort out the terrain leveling. But this is how I want to use these things. So at the moment I've got space for 15 sheep in that pasture. With this pasture extension, basically, let's bring the menu up. How do I raise these? Lift pasture, O and P. Lift it with P, right. So there you go, you can see our pasture. My idea is, let's say this was broken into 1, 2, 3, 6 fields, right? We could put one of these down. Yeah, and that gets connected to our sheep pasture. Now that didn't cost us anything. If we have sheep, they would walk to that. But what I want to do is I want to effectively put that down. Okay, because they don't have to be connected. That one down. Okay. Look, oh, I didn't get that lined up very well, but that's all right. These are just placeholders, right? One down. Okay. I'm jumping around all over the place. Gone from talking about our farm, building a farm, to now buying sheep. Okay. Right. And the beauty is these are free. And let's put that one down there. Okay. Now, that's annoying. Can't see them when I'm building fences. See, my idea was to get some fences, put down something like, it's a good animal fence. One like, no. No. Anyhow, get a good animal fence. Will there be something in here I like? No. Gosh, so many options now. These are quite ponty sheep. This is where the nice ones stay. Who's watched Aussie Farms and seen our conversation about sheep? Anyhow, what I want to be able to do is basically build 6 paddocks, 6 fields, whatever you want to call them. All right. And once you've done those 6, is then come in here and I would demolish those sheep pastures. Now I can't actually see where they are, which is a little bit annoying. Here we go. Turn that on. So I'd come and demolish. I'd demolish all but one of them, right? Then we'd have 5 fields that had grass in them using the grazing mod. Demolish 5 of them, and that would leave us this one, and there would be where our sheep are. Then once I've eaten all the grass out of that, demolish it and build this one, and then the sheep would effectively move virtually, not actually moving them, but the sheep would appear in this pasture here. Once that's done, delete that one because they're free. You know, these animal pasture extensions have 0 cost next to them. So you know, you go through and delete them. Delete that one, or put one down there, then delete that one. Because what's effectively happened as we've built those is, oh, we can't see our sheep pasture. I'd have to go up and have a look, but we probably have the capacity to have 300 or 400 sheep now, and you wouldn't be able to delete them without doing that. And you know, you could expand it by saying, well, let's amalgamate one of those fields. So you get 600 sheep total, because we've got 6 of those, because those 50 by 50s. But effectively, we'd have 100 sheep, 115 sheep that just graze each of those blocks as they go. So that's the idea of what I want to do with those. I just need to figure out how to best to do it, and we'll work our way around it. Hey, Perolaf, how you doing? It'll be 9 AM New Zealand time. No, sorry, 7 AM New Zealand time, Scott. But I'll let you know. I'll finalise. So, it'll be 3 in the afternoon for you. A little bit more manageable what we currently join in doing. That's for sure. Raymond, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Nice. Nice. I knew you'd enjoy this sort of map. It's right up your alley. Hey, Disturbed, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. What do you think of my my thoughts around using it a different way to be able to use the grazing component of it? Basically, delete one, build space for 6 of them, like I've got here. Delete each of those, and so you just sort of put one down, delete it, put one down, delete it, so they can graze out of those areas. So you could even, you could overlap them and have, like, you know, a field of 100 100 by 50. So that's the idea. We'll give that a go. We've got plenty of space for it, and it'll be good on the slope up in there, in amongst the trees. Don't have to cut any trees down. You're perfect. Right, that is what we will do. Better for you, work gets in the way during the week. Yeah, well, that's what I thought as well, Ben. Work's getting in the way for a lot of people. The only downside, well, the original reason I started doing streams on Wednesday night was because of maps like Southern Cross Station and Aussie Farms, Aussie No Man's, what else is there? And Southern Pastures now. You know, Aussie and New Zealand maps to be able to connect and share with the Australasian community. That's just a bonus that Europe's up early, and there's a few crazy Americans who get up early in the morning too. No, there's no need to overlay them, Finnish Farmer. They don't have to be overlaid at all. And it just evolved into the multiplayer thing. But yeah, we can try it out on the weekend and see how it goes. Playing Back Roads County 4X map, and they give you a big open area to build on by the farm. I did everything I need for the farm, but it still feels empty. I'm sure you'll figure out what needs to be done to populate it further. Right, so let's go and put some silos down, because I know what I'm doing with those. And so that's 27, 31, so they're around 84. It's 14, so we're looking, and I've got bushel plus Thundar's mod on, which is why we're reading in bushels, not anything else. So I reckon I want to try and keep crops different, so maybe we go for smaller bins but more of them, because then we can expand at a cheaper rate. And if we eventually get to the point of being able to buy something big and fancy, we can. But maybe we go in and put, I like the taller ones because they just look bigger rather than these short squat ones. Although the short ones are probably actually a bit more, these look better, eh? Better. Hey, Slick Top, how you doing? Good to see you. Number 8 wires and battens. Something else that's up in my head too, Thomas, is what I want to do. Right, let's have a look here. So we spin that around. I like having that unload auger kind of a little bit offset. So let's go along. And what have I just gone for? 43.5 grand. Do one. Now, am I too far apart? I'm looking at the shadows. Those shadows look pretty similar, don't they? More like that. It's pretty more like that. 3 bins. I can handle it. I'm going to have to handle it. I'm going to have to accept that they're slightly further apart. Oh, goodness. In fact, I can show you because let's just buy some sheep. I'm spending money I shouldn't. Buy some lambs. If we put 5 in, spend $1,000. They should spread out across all the different fields. See, so a couple up here, one all the way down on this one, and those ones all the way there. There you go. They're using them all. Now, if I was to go into here and demolish this one, those 2 sheep have moved over in there, and they've all kind of rearranged where they are. It's pretty cool. It's a very, very impressive mod. Oops, errors. Those errors will be in my mods, which I haven't finished off properly yet. But it's a very, very clever piece of technology. I do like it. Fantastic way to have dairy cattle or sheep, makes it much more realistic. That's what I've wanted to do forever, Ryan. Just to be able to do that, and that kind of allows you to do it in a semi sort of not cheaty way, but it works. Hey Nismo, how you doing? You know, with 16 million chaff from the other streamers, still had 20% left to do. So you filled both of those bunkers and then some, Scott. Wow. That is an impressive effort. Look at that, 50 viewers. Welcome along, everyone. Pleasure to have you all here. Hope you're enjoying and hanging with me here on this farm build on Aussie Nomads and our sort of start from scratch. I'll go through a little bit later on about the whole premise of how it's a start from scratch. It's a start from scratch in that we are building a farm and starting with no fields or anything. It's not a start from scratch from a money perspective, except for the fact that any money we've spent at the end of today, once we've built the farm, is all going to go into a loan. So we will be using this at the moment. We can max out at a $2 million loan. We've spent, if I just go back into here, we've spent 1.185 million on vehicles and 4 million on land. That's 1.58, and the construction costs so far 265. So what's that? 6, 7. We've spent about 1.8 million. So that's the whole idea, is we'd take a loan out for that same value plus a little bit of capital, and then we've got to work our way up to trying to get a $20 million farm. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Right, back here. So we've got silos, a couple of sheds. Now this shed over here, much as it looks like it shouldn't be, this is actually going to be our workshop. It's a very expensive workshop. But I was going to put this in. So we've got this workshop pack. I think we've got one here which just goes along a single side. Does it have? Seem to actually show the trigger. So we've got the one that could have been a shed. We've got this one here which actually shows the trigger. I wonder if that one will work out really well in there. We can still park something in it, but yeah, the idea was that would be our workshop. Or we put this one, which I think, not that one, doesn't show the trigger until we've put it down. Okay. Maybe if we put that against one side, it's less obtrusive. Let's do that as well, eh? $1,500. Can't go wrong with that. So there you go. This is now our workshop, and can be used for storage and other things as well. And we can get the mobile workshop if we want to be able to con things remotely. You ended up with 3, Scott. That's impressive. Right, let's have a look what else we need to do. So we've got that done. Let's carry on and build our road down now that I know kind of what we're doing. Now here's a question. Is there a mod out there that tells you how long a fence is when you build it? Like when I'm in the build menu and I want to do a fence, and in fact There's our sheep fence. I should be using this one. That's what I need. We'll use that one for our sheep. I knew there was one. But if I want to come in here and from our sheep pasture, which is... that's even better. I can turn that on. Beautiful. So I can get an idea on where they are. I was thinking I wouldn't be able to, but you can turn it on in the build menu. Epic. So with that, I could build. I actually don't need it now. Doesn't matter. But that'd be a cool mod if someone was looking for something to do. I kind of need to figure out how to do that the best way. Probably come back up to here, get ourselves set on our 270 again. Look at that, first time. Then hit... I can build it right back over here, it doesn't actually matter. But that's not going to... Toggle snapping, that's what I want to do, isn't it? No. I'll do it a different way. I'll do this. Should be able to paint a dot. One end. It's one dot. I haven't moved my mouse. No other dot. So from there to there should be a straight line. You're going to tell Mrs. What are you going to tell Mrs. Argsy? What did I do? Don't tell Mrs. Argsy. She doesn't need to know. Our secret. Here we go. Gosh, it's $10,000 fence. It's a $12,000 fence. And I need to go further. The 12,000 this way. Holy heck. Nailed it though. Reminds me, I need to do that landscaping up in here, so we'll just stop the fence a bit short. Alright, so there's our space. I should be able to fit our pastures in there. Be able to figure it out and divide it, but there we go. So that's that done. Let's go back to our landscaping, painting. What gravel do I want to have? Let's just have a look down here. That's a concrete. We don't really want concrete. Dirt. Maybe dirt. No, we don't want that. Gravel dust. Oh, well, that's probably actually not bad, eh? That's pretty Australian. What do you reckon? Gravel dust. Pathway. Pathway gravel. Red concrete bricks, riverbed, rock, rough asphalt. I reckon, what do we think? Gravel dust is probably the best one. Let's go bigger. Right. It'd be nice if I could have gone just a touch narrower. That was around now 270 again, that's perfect. Right, like I said, a bit silly that we're redoing this. I go to circle, I wonder if that's a little bit smaller. No, that's the full width. It's full size. Right, I'm gonna do this. $270. Don't move, Argsy. Don't move a muscle. Oh, look at that. Straight across the front of the shed. Could not have judged that to perfection anymore if I tried. That is the fluke of the century right there. Hey, Farmer Ed, have a good one, mate. Enjoy your day at work. Nice to see you as always. Thanks for stopping in, hanging out with us. Right, we'll do the same. Oh, no. Yeah, I'll tidy those up in just a sec. It went funny over the tree, didn't it? Makes your brain hurt trying to update my mods, but it lets you do cool things like letting your cows out during the day or for spring and getting them back in during winter. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with it a little bit more. I probably should have done the dirt on the edge first, but here we go. I'll find some time to tidy things up. Right, here we go. Now let's just make this look good up the front. Go back to a circle, go a little bit smaller. This is going to be a pretty bougie yard once I'm finished with it. I'll look at it and go, how on earth is this guy $2 million in debt? Oh, because he built a big fancy front yard. What did I use on this? This one? Same one? No, it's not. That one. Yeah. There we go. Found it. I mean, you know, every farm needs to have a nice farm entrance, right? That's a ton of gravel. It is. It is. Right. I can't put this in yet. I have to wait, but we are going to have to put a we're going to have to put a flag at the gate. And I know it's Australia, but there will be a New Zealand flag. I don't think we'll put one of those ones up. Logging League, G Portal, and the Giants Partners flag. They're a bit of fun to make too. Right. Well, there we go. Look at that. That for an entrance. We have arrived. So the beauty of the sheep actually is I could put another pasture. I could fence that side and put sheep in there too. If we want to expand in the future, we can do that. As an Aussie, glad to see a map like this. Just wish there were more Aussie themed shed buildings, etc. Yeah, that's always the challenge, Scott, right? I was looking to see what I could find, and obviously the Spanlift sheds by Aussie Modding Co-op are the best there are that I could locate at this stage. I was looking at sheds actually. And of course they have the big sucker too. Where's that one? Yeah, which is going to be a future addition to the farm. It's going to go right there. That's what that metal pad is for. But we're very quickly chewing through our $500,000. Need that New Zealand flag on the oaks. Oh, we can have a chat about that. But we do. You're right. Doing well, Pleasant. Good to see you, mate. Any Aussie Kiwi style fences, steel gates? The best steel gates I've seen that I would say are Aussie New Zealand style are actually Bullet Bill's ones. Which I don't remember if they're set up as, I can't remember if he's done those as a fence placeable for farm sim or not, or whether it's just the prefabs he's made for modders to use. But basically the gates that are on Court Farms is what we're talking about there. Right. Right, what's next? Let's just do a little bit of titivating around this shed. Our smooth tool, soften. Now a lot of people don't actually realise that you can actually, once you've increased, you can change your brush strength, which changes the intensity of the square. Yeah, which is a bit more aggressive on the smoothing, but I find it tends to do a better job. There we go. That was all pretty painless. Now I was going to put under buildings, container. So here's our options. We can use the base game diesel tanks. I've got those tanks as well. I do want to put some bulk bunkers in somewhere too. Where am I going to put those? But this one just seemed so appropriate for the map, but it's 20 grand. I think that'll be a future upgrade. For now, I'm going to keep it simple, stupid. Put that one down. Painting around that. Might use a bit darker gravel. That one might go a bit better around there. Of course, then this is where I get carried away with maps, with farm builds, because I'll come in here and find that pathway. Put spots of dirt around like it's actually been leaked and spilled and make things dirty a bit too much. But yes, I do need to just to try and blend it in a bit more. Right, let's not get carried away with that. So next steps, I've talked about those silos. We don't have anything here now. If we go out that way, that kind of needs to be our track out, doesn't it? We go out to this road. I'm not going to do this now. This could be a future access, but we could go out this way. So this is actually, when I look at it, jump out of there. When I look at that, that's actually quite a good sort of space for a field in there, isn't it? Sort of cut in and around and use that space. So we're not going to do that just yet. But what we might do is let's go and put down some bunkers for some bits and pieces. Now, which is going to be the cheapest way to do it. It's probably going to do that because I'm not going to be wanting manure. We're just going to be wanting the lime fertilizer and stones in this one. Is that square with the shed? Right, I'm going to put that back in here. Maybe that can actually... Oh, no, because I said that's where our things are going to go, isn't it? So we might actually bring this back in and back it onto this shed. Because that was going to be our drive around if we went that way. In which case, do I put it on that side? No, we'll put it on this side. So this one, what I'd hoped to do with this mod, this is, anyone just joining, this is actually one I've made, which is why it's a little bit ganky. So there's a few texture things. I haven't finished it, it's still work in progress. But what I had hoped is, with these small ones, with these ones here, you drive in, and if you've got a fertilizer spreader, lime spreader, you can just press R to refill, and it will refill, and you can buy the lime. If you've got a bucket on the front of a front loader, you can go in and fill that and buy the lime. Like you're basically scooping it out, and you can do it one at a time, or you can fill it up direct into the spreader if you want, into a trailer, anything. You put it on the eastern side to minimize the weather coming into the front. I don't know which way's east. If that's the sun rising, the sun rises in the east. West. North. Kind of south. I've put it on the west side. Jason, put it on the west side. Bother. Work calls, catch the rest later. Cheers, Disturbed. Nice to see you, mate. We'll catch you again next time. Your house in the middle of Tron has a good old classic gate. Does it, Thomas? Right in the middle of town. Must go to work. CNG, no worries, mate. Nice to see you. Oh, there we go. Hit that like button. Yes, thank you, everyone. Please make sure you do drop a like, the thumbs up. Be very much appreciated. Look out for the westerlies. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of put it on the wrong side then completely, haven't I, Jason? Yep. Oh well. We live and we learn. Right. So, yeah, anyhow, what I was trying to do, what I was saying is I was trying to get these where they worked exactly the same way. Each of these was a full trigger and you could go in and scoop it and pay it. But the only way I can get it to work so far is you come in here, it's got a trigger, and then you have to choose what you're filling before it will fill. So the trigger box is still big enough that you can go into either of them and do it that way. It's just that whole selecting what you're wanting to fill, which is a little bit nasty, but I need to increase the clear area in front too, because it's left the grass there but put the texture down underneath. So just little things I'm learning as I go. Right, that's that done. That's those supply. We've got diesel, we've got a workshop. Right, the other consideration, and you know what's going to be a perfect spot for these, is some liquid tanks, and these are quite cool. These are Northwest Mods and Edits. So we can put a liquid tank. And what we can do here, I haven't actually played around with these, but somewhere, I think it'll be under decoration. Decoration others. Pumps and hoses pack. It's a liquid tank. It's a bollard. Where's... Well, he hasn't done it as a fence, has he? It'd be pretty cool if he has. Liquid tank pack mod. He has, so it's a steel bund. So he's made a fence that you can put up around your tanks as a bund. To try and obviously keep anything from getting in there. It's kind of clever. I wasn't sure how it had been done, and then you've got a bollard you can put down to protect them as well. But let's go back. That was under containers, liquid tank pack. We don't need a big one at all. Look, there's the fill point. We would make sure that's somewhere accessible. Now, if you've got the premium expansion, they come through as AGI West Steel. I don't know if that shows up if you don't. Not quite sure on that. Yeah. Want 2 of these down? Do we need 2 of them? What do we need? It says it can only be filled with herbicide. Liquid fertilizer. I'm assuming it can't be filled with herbicide. Also don't know how it needs to be filled either. Why am I climbing? I'm assuming I need to do that with a trailer. So I actually have to deliver it. So it's not a buy point, which is fine. I'm happy with that. The other option was to use something like this pack here, which we've used on a lot of servers. But this one does herbicide, liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer, lime seed, and water, which we don't actually need. But what I can do, and this is a cool little thing too that I've noticed, is somewhere in here, Aussie no man's land, you've got a seed buying station, a fert buying station, and a lime buying station. And all it is a trigger. It's just the trigger. So you can put that down anywhere to buy seed, and you don't actually need to have a shed as such, or a silo or anything for it. You can just put that down. So it's kind of handy. If you just wanted to, have a point where you can fill up from, you can do that. Right. What else is there? Those are the main parts, I think. Those are the main parts of the sheds. So we've got $137,000 left. Right, let's do a little bit more painting and tidying up, and we'll see what we've got as a bit of a last or finished product. And right, which one did we use? That one there. And it's big. I will probably go in and do in front of the sheds a bit more, but let's try and get it reasonably clean. In front of these, looks like we've got a little bit of leveling to do there. In fact, you know what I might do? Because I can imagine these would be, very heavily worn sort of in front of it. Probably do that a little bit in front of here too. Go. And then we can do that around the edges. Yeah, there we go. That might sort of soften the edges and be a bit rough around there. You kind of got that transition into the grass. Right. Yep, that'll work. End of the day, we don't actually need the silos for a while, but this is probably the only chance I actually have to make this now, because we're not going to have the money to do it in the future. Or the money we do have will be being spent elsewhere, so I'll do it as well as we can now. Right, now I kind of want to put this one here down in here. Put a slight different gravel texture in the bottom of this shed. Going all the way out the back because I'm not being very careful, but we'll go and tidy that up. That can actually be what we do around. Change. Did I actually not use the right? I didn't use the right one. Ah, use that one. Looks a bit like an angry fish. You got a couple of eyes. There's your mouth. Kind of going to like a, almost like a, is it Slimer off Ghostbusters? This looks like him. I'm not happy with that texture in there. That's a shame. How much that just cost us to do? Now I'm going to have to redo it. Does it cost each? Oh, it's not too expensive. Worth it in the long run. There we go. Did we go at the back too far? Nah, not really. Not too far. Got lots of options too for planting, do we? Okay, right. So there we go. There's our yard. What do you reckon? Eventually, I would like to bring that around. We've got 126 grand left. Ah, that's what I haven't done yet. I wanted to do a bale store. Need to fix that up. Bottom left map, put it in the square. Put it on the square and it'll show north. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I see what you mean. Right, pressing for that 9. Yes, the north's up that way, isn't it? So I was right. North, east, west, south. Yeah, the train again. All your open-faced sheds faced east. So, having just built a farm with all the sheds facing west, I've completely broken all the rules in Australia. Good evening, I've finally got here to see what's up tonight. Nice to see you, mate. Calling it a night. Great stream, I have a good one, and hit the like button. Thanks, Scott, mate. Have a good one. Catch you later. Looking for a mod like that for more realistic cattle paddocks. That looks good. Yeah, definitely. Give it a check out, Scott. It's on Mod Hub. It's all been tested by giants and everything like that, so definitely worth going and checking out. I think it's pretty cool. Right. You have your sheds facing north, Charlie. I mean, I guess a lot of, a lot of sheds in Manawatu will be facing east because, or north because the westerly is the predominant wind here. Oh yeah, that's fair, cool. Right, let's tidy up around these silos. Painting's not actually too expensive, is it? A lot of that. This around here too. Then once we've done that, we can do a little bit of this. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Looks very pretty, but not what I wanted. If I bump this right down to the smallest size, you can kind of just do spots of what's going in and out. Should hopefully catch up. If it's the right grass that's been used on the map, it'll sort of eventually end up at the same growth stage. Right. So we've got that, we've got that. That's going to be our future track, possibly. Got a few trees to sort out. I've got no way to grow on stumps, so I need to sort that out. And I need to get the lumberjack model something installed. Yeah. What else is there? Eventually that will go around the back of this shed. See if we can be a little bit more precise. How big this shed would be. I need to make sure there's enough space. There should be enough space for augers down into those, shouldn't they? Or should I? In fact, maybe if I put it on this side, we could actually do silos either side. Still do a drive around. 45 grand. Do I just put that shit in? Hey Days, how you doing, mate? Need the farm track between the paddocks. I will eventually, Thomas. That's true. Taking the time to grab a bus a few towns. Good, mate. I'm doing good. I reckon. Because what we could actually do, I reckon we put this in. 48, that'll take us down to what, 80, 75 grand left? Like I said before, if I don't do it now, I'll probably never get it done. Maybe I could actually, could I bring it a bit further forward too? It's quite a big yard in there, isn't it? Dreaming about potatoes from DK. Oh, I need to show that message. Oh, it's hilarious. Use easy dev to clear the stumps. Thank you, Dace. That's a good suggestion. Right, let's bring that in. I'm going to do it. Let's put that down. Landscaping, just smooth that off a little bit. Built it up a bit more than I wanted it to. It's annoying. Increase the effect of the smoothing. Without undermining the shed. Let's have a look. It's alright, isn't it? It's alright. Right, I think now we're looking pretty good. 2 more additions. Let's put in, where is it? Silos. Looking in the wrong place. Let's use the end of this shed as, use it as a bale store. It works out alright, just about. We've got the snapping quite on the right angle. Look at that, just about fits in that shed perfectly. A little bit out the front, but that's fine. A bit wider than the frame, but that can go on the end there. That'll give us 500 bales. I know I called it the outdoor bale store, but it doesn't need to be outdoor, does it? You know, I was blown away with the response to this mod. Like, what people said about it. They actually been really positive. Did that stick through? We're almost going to leave those there just for a bit of decoration. It did just. I can hide them. Right. So there's our bale store. We've got lots of storage space there. We've got this big sucker in here. Space for more silos down here. and we'll eventually be able to drive around there. Happy days. Got a workshop, we've got diesel. It's a little bit more smoothing there, does it? Yeah, it's alright. Did I have to do some smoothing in front of here? I did, that's right. Sling that down a bit. Well, there we go. Perfect. I know I've talked about it a few times, but there's a few people who are new. This is also another mod I'm working on at the moment. I still need to get the levels right as well. Bit of a lip there. Need to fix that. The other ones don't have that. It's just I need to change the height of the floor relative to the placement height. But yeah, it's a lime fertilizer and stone by bunker, bulk by bunker. All right, I think for a farm build, I've just built a mini Western Australia farm. I'm pretty happy with that. Plenty of scope for development. Got the animals up here, got the sheep up there, which I need to do a bit more work on, but all in all, they're up there. We're using the expandable sheep mod, expandable animals, and we're going to use the pastures for grazing. So we'll put some more fences in there, but those fences were expensive, so we'll leave those for now. There we go. I think that's us done. Right, let's just go down, like you said, Days. We can hide those trees. So let's very quickly get ourselves a chainsaw. Does everyone have a favourite brand of chainsaw? I always go for a Stihl because that's what we've always used. Always had on the farm. Stihl chainsaw. One thing I did notice, these trees are a bit, oh that's not too bad. They're a bit difficult sometimes to, they show the trigger but then they don't actually cut very well. We'll get there. Power washer. True DK. Good man. The ground around the diesel tank isn't anywhere near dark enough. How long did it take me to make the anywhere object storage one? The actual mod part didn't take too long. It was just working out all the XML and coding and all those kind of things. It took a bit longer than normal, but it wasn't too bad. I did start working on it probably, how long ago, Days? 6 months? It's been a while. Right, let's have a look, see if I can delete that. Delete that little bit of wood there. And we'll worry about the rest of the trees later. Funny how it's given me those little stumps. Or little offcuts. Brilliant idea, Days. Thank you. Now look at the mini-map. Why is that? Look, there's our farm. That's our little part of paradise. I said they're a little bit iffy. Brilliant mod, and I've been wondering when someone would do something like that. It's awesome. I installed it on most of your saves. Nice, Michael. Thanks, buddy. Now these ones, you can actually cut these olive trees down, but I'm just going to get rid of it. Be gone, darn olive trees. Alright. It's home. Now, we need to make it home, don't we? Hang on. Ooh, don't go on there. There we go. Claiming up part of Australia with the New Zealand and Argsy flag. Beautiful. Perfect. Perfect. Hey Vibe, how are you? I thought this would be right up your alley. None of this Modern Warfare Destiny business. Watch them be too close to the road for the big air seeders to get through. It's going to be a long time till I have a big air seeder, Dazed. Oh, doggo in the front. Look at the size of this road. Pick up for perspective. Whoops. Right, I think that makes our pickup park. Oh, hang on. One more thing. Whereabouts? I think here makes sense, doesn't it? That's a farm. Pressure washer. Put it in the shed, wouldn't leave it outside. Yeah, I know. But it's outside. Ah. Ha. That's my ground leveling on the outside with this. Let's raise that up. Huh. You can fix that. Now this is when you don't want the strength to be too strong. Won't matter because it might go underneath the hardly tell now, can you? Just don't delete the bunkers and we'll be fine. Actually, it's not too bad. No big holes down there. Right. Let's go find a tractor and a mower. Let's go and cut a first field. Look now. Headaches here off to be good luck with the build. It's looking great so far. See you for next time. Thank you, Mrs. Professor. Thank you very much. Is it even legal to plant New Zealand flag on Aussie soil? It is today, Michael. It is today. What's a pickup? You mean a ute? So, if you've only just joined us, I went through the equipment and how this whole start from scratch idea is working. We've started off basically with some equipment. We've got $1.2 million worth of equipment. We've got $400,000 worth of land, and we've now got about $460,000 worth of landscaping and building done. So the whole idea is once we've sorted this out, I'm going to reset our money. I might keep it about where it is because it might be a bit before we get some income. Although we're going to make some silage. So what the idea is if we have a look in here, oh, there's the vehicles, there's the construction costs, and there's our land purchase. So that's the money we've spent so far. What is it? Pretty much bang on 2 million, 8, 3, 9. It's pretty much bang on $2 million. So if we were just to round things up to $2 million, I don't want to go there, I want to go into here. The idea is to take a loan around that value. Maximum loan I can take at the moment is 1.84. So what I'd do is max out our loan, keep a little bit of cash so we can start paying our monthly repayments. So if I was to take a 1.84 million loan and put that over, say 20 years, I need 10 grand a month as repayments. So it's a bit of money to repay. Oops, here's my 3. Oh, I can't go up to, what's the maximum term? 20 is the maximum term. Okay. All right. So we're going to have a repayment of $10,000 a month. So we need to be making some income. But basically the equipment, because I didn't want to get too carried away with like just going for the brand new Steiger or anything like that, I've limited it to pre-1990s as accurately as I can get, and 300 horsepower to start with. Now that scale is going to climb as we go through the years, as is the date and age. But for now, this is what we've started out with. So small tractor, 4955. That's what we're going to go take now and go and do some mowing with. And then we've got the Traction King over there, which I think is about a 500 horsepower, 300 horsepower tractor. So that's where we've linked, maxed those out at. So I didn't want to get too carried away. So we're going to have the debt. We're going to have the limited age, limited horsepower, and that's going to be about all we can do. And so we're starting from basically a position of having some equipment, not having much money, and having to build the farm up. We're not playing with seasons. This is, and that's just to allow me to keep things, I guess, progressing. I feel with seasons, I love seasons. Seasons is great on a normal sort of playthrough, but seasons on a start from scratch can just really challenge you, I suppose. And I wanted to be able to progress things, because the end goal is to get to $20 million worth of equity, whether it's land, equipment, crops, those kind of things. So we need to start somewhere, and that's where we've started. And Jeremy, good morning, mate. Welcome along. 22 months. You're only two months away from 2 years. Thank you very much, my friend. Good to see you. Your brother bought a... Yeah, you did tell me your brother bought a PC for FS22. I do remember now. Kiwi territories. That's right. That's what Australia is. He's selling his PC. You can change max period in the mod settings. Thank you, Dazed. Have a look at that. 1 year DK. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much for your support. And Scott, 10 months. Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. Love seeing it. Now, remember, some members, actually. Well, I've got members in here. Something I want to try and do, and I did post about it in Discord. And so this is a members benefit. And I did start doing it on Monday night, and we might make it a regular thing on Monday nights. Just see how it would go with my timetable. But when I'm recording a video, so I did it for Tahitian County, I was recording some of an episode of that on Monday night. I'm going to be live in Discord, so I'll share my screen. I'll be sitting in voice chat. If you want to jump in, have a chat, ask a question, just, chew the fat, go for it. That's a members perk. I'm trying to just find ways to give more benefits to members. So we've got the Southern Pastures server, and that was just something else I thought I'd do. Let's get you guys in there, and an opportunity to interact with you. So please do, if you're interested, please do make use of that. I'll post in Discord when I do it. I don't want to ping you all. I know people don't like getting pings and notifications all the time, so just keep an eye out for that. But if people are interested in it, it'll be a sort of regular Monday night thing. Am I going to do this as a live stream playthrough or a video? And probably a live stream one, Charlie. I just think it's kind of a chill thing to do, particularly when we're sort of limited in some facets. Now, one thing I haven't actually tested yet, and I could just find out completely, I'm up with the wazoo here and up the creek without a paddle, so to speak, is does this grass actually drop grass behind it when you mow it? I don't know. We will find out. Yeah. So, anyhow, if you remember, that is one thing I'm trying to add. So make sure you have your Discord and YouTube linked. That will automatically give you the member role in Discord, and you can see the Argsy team chat and Argsy team voice chat. It'd be cool. Get to know more of you. It doesn't. Let's see. We're on a straight bit of road. I need to set up an auto drive course on this too. It is. Is it under these settings? It's under one of these, isn't it? Very bottom of here. Maximum. Like, there we go. 5 years or 50 years. I was going to go to 30. Thank you, Dazed. Am I going the right way, DK? I've just driven the length of a 4K of standard map. Literally, from the shop where our stuff is 1 kilometre. It's 2 kilometres to get to where we need to be. So we've just driven across a standard map. We've driven from one side of Elm Creek to the other at 20 miles per hour. But we're just about there. What mod is it you're able to zoom out when you're in construction and landscaping? Righty, I was just able to. I was just using the scroll wheel on my mouse, and I think if I'm on my controller, yeah, that's just the scroll wheel on my mouse. I can't remember if I can do it with the controller or not. I thought I could. But what I'm saying is I'm going to need fast tracks. Might have got a bit carried away with this this farm entrance, but hey. Right, let's go and cut out. So what my plan is basically to mow the first field, and that will become the outline for our field, basically. We'll mow it, take the grass off, and then we'll plow it and get a crop planted. So I think I'm going to start off in here on the left, and sort of go around. What I might try and do as we do a first lap of the field is actually use some course play and record the field edge, although it should scan it when I've got it, so I might not. You might just see the first time actually. Let's have a look in here. We might as well get as close to the back of here as we can. It's unfolded. Now, a moment of truth. Can we actually mow this grass or not? Only able to go so far out before it stops. I can only go so far out as well, so that's limit. That's my limit. And then that's in. And then this is middle. Yeah. So that's in, that's out, and then when you're in you can use I hold down the middle mouse button to change the angle. Down on the D-pad. That's what I thought it would be. Right. Dum, dum, dum. It's like it's not working. Lower the mower. Lower the mower. Look at that. Beautiful. Right. Let's figure out this first field. So, evidently we could clear the trees, make things a little bit bigger. But for now, we're just going to get this grass field done. Get the first lot of income. Trees will be a viable source of income at some stage. I haven't actually set myself up with any equipment to do trees, so that will be a little bit of a challenge. Let's figure that one out. But definitely will look to do something with those. So we've got a semi-olive grove growing in here too. Drive is half a minute. Oh no, drive's massive. Also appears I don't have real mower installed either. That's alright. How far up this do we want to go? Not too far. We just get to this tree and turn around. The V-rake we have on this is massive. Precision farming as well. I am playing with precision farming. Down and seeing the yield map down there. Do have that. Live again, Ryan. Awesome. Just get heading, have a good stream, and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Dazed. Appreciate you tuning in, mate. We still need to find some time to get some spuds done. I do want to get in and give you a hand, so let me know when you're at those again. Oh, that whiskey's gone down a treat tonight. Alright, what do you reckon? I was sort of almost kind of want to... How far? Oh, I'm almost out of limit. I might as well keep going right to the boundary then, mightn't I? Will it tell me when I've got to the edge? Here we go. I was hoping. Let's go north from here. A bit further that way. So I think we're very much just going to get to about the back of these trees, and then dive back across, and that'll be our first field in there. They're going to be decent size. We're not here to. I could say there's so many inappropriate comments then. We've got a big map. We need to make some decent sized fields. Yeah, no dramas, mate. Honestly, I don't have too much else to do on my side of the farm, so I'm sure we'll figure something out. Kinvaris, hello, good morning, welcome along. Wife called and you've been playing catch up for the last 5 minutes. Fair enough, fair enough. Obviously, you know, just even cutting that tree down strategically would have given us a much better field, but add some interest to it, right? That's the way I look at it anyhow. Alright, there we go. And the beauty is, can't even see that on precision farming. Oh my goodness. Here we go, there's our first field. So we own a chunk in there. So we've actually almost, we do another field up here, that's probably almost our land done. Am I ever going to sell you that canola? Are you in a hurry to get it, Bo? I thought you had enough to carry on processing. Too much red tape to even cut down that single tree. Got hit by lightning, Jason. I don't know what you're talking about. Split it in half. Right through the middle. Lucky no one got injured. I saw some pretty disturbing videos from Australia the other day of a forestry company basically ripping down trees with koalas on the top of them still. I don't know how legitimate it was. Seemed pretty legit. It was on mainstream media, but seemed a bit cowboyish. Always better to be looking at it than for it. Fair enough too. $7.75 per 1,000 litres was what we said, eh? Also got your PC, that lightning. Deadly stuff, deadly stuff. About the only way for them to come down, what, the koalas or the trees? My little map back, because it's good for hitting. I know a few people commented in the video about the edge of the field, edge of the roads, that jaggedness. I mean, that's just an unfortunate outcome of doing a large map. $7.50 per 500 litres. Okay, done. I haven't actually used this mower, I don't think, in 22. Kind of nice to try something out a little bit different. Like I said, so I was talking right at the start, we could have gone for something big. Could have got a big triple mower set up or something like that, but this is just the perfect size for what we're doing. Probably more appropriate too, sort of hacking down this, dare I say, scrubland. It's not really scrub, but nah, I don't. Don't have a real mower. I think it's a real mower installed. I've had hit and miss luck with that too. But they'll disappear when we plough the field up. It's fine. Drop ears. You watch out for them. You wish it would come to console. The only way a map like this would ever come to console was in the next version of the game, if and when that is released. So I've cut out support for the older gen consoles. There might be a chance that it'll come to that. Until then, it is going to be way, way, way... I don't even know if a map like this... And, well, this map's not that big, and... Am I sitting at 50 frames per second? It's pretty good. Pretty good performance. Oh, the mowing bushes mod. Gotcha, sorry. It would be nice, wouldn't it? It's just, isn't it things like that you just think, actually, play testing the game, wouldn't it be nice? Like, I'm going to go mower. Ugh. Here's the problem I see it as, is Giants make a game that has 2 or 3 predefined maps in it, and those predefined maps are built to a certain set of parameters, and I can't think of I'm trying to think of Erlengrad. Even the hills on the side of, the grass on the side of the hills in Erlengrad didn't have bushes in it like that does. It was more used in under forests and trees and that kind of landscaping, so it probably didn't even in playtesting, people didn't go, oh, that's a bit silly, I want to mow that, because nowhere in their base game maps was the areas you'd want to mow that had those in it. That I can think of. There might be, I didn't spend a lot of time in any of those maps. But it's when modders get hold of it and they come up with it and say, oh, look at these bushes, we can use those. We can put them in a scrubland on no man's land or whatever. Rather than just having grass, we've now got these little bushes that we can scatter around and give a little bit of visual interest to a map. If it had an HDD drive did it die this week? Is that what you're going to say? It would have, 7 years of NAS use would have killed it. Yep, thank goodness for backups. I learned that the very hard way. In the office, we don't have a dedicated server as such. We use a NAS drive for our file storage because we don't have a very big office and a need for a dedicated server, but we were victim of a cyber attack where they locked all our files down, but fortunately they didn't target the drawing files that I used. They targeted the Common Word and JPEG and those kind of files, which didn't really affect us too much. It was the drawing files which had a different extension. We were okay from that side of things, but still annoying. And I also had a physical backup that wasn't, it was a few weeks out of date, but wasn't too bad. But it could have been a lot worse. But everything's cloud backed up now. Is there a mower on console that mow them down? Not sure. Yep, yeah, QNAP, Thomas. I'm a little bit scared how you know that now. Have we talked about this before? Hey Victor, how you doing? Sorry, I did see your message earlier. Good morning to you, mate. Well, it's been nice to have so many people here tonight. Great to have your support. And thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the map build. And I hope you enjoy the theory and premise behind what we're doing here with Aussie Nomads. Do you know that's the one thing I struggle with? I wish it was called something like Aussie Outback or something like that rather than Nomads. I know why, but Aussie Wilds or something like that. Yes, they encrypted all our files and basically there was a text file dumped in it. It happened while I was away on school camp. So my staff had to deal with it, and my wife had to deal with it. I'm away on school camp getting these phone calls going, Our server's been hacked, or our NAS drive's been hacked. Can't get into any of our files. Thanks, Ryan. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Hopefully I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. That was the hard part, was I was scared knowing, like on the WA16X map, how much time that required as an investment. So I was actually legitimately scared to figure out how to do something on this, to have some fun, actually play something. I went through about 5 or 6 different ideas thinking, how can I make this work? And I've actually doubled round and come back to the original one I had, which is this sort of style of series. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think I haven't done much of for a while, so should be good fun. Empty plains, yeah, something like that. Anyhow, it is what it is. We're going to get some last minute study in. Good luck, Charlie. You got a test coming up, mate. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you. Better late than never, exactly. 100%. Thumbs up you drop on the video, and the view you give me is as valuable now as if it would have been an hour and 47 minutes ago. No GPS on this tractor. I can't remember if I put GPS on the other one. I might have put it on the combine, but I think it's time to start a new map with that pasture extension mod. Yeah, right. You must all the banter in between. Yeah, Mark. This is the first tractor work we've done. There's our farm build. That's our progress so far. And I haven't set it up yet, but when we're back next time, we'll basically be $2 million in debt with a little bit of operating capital. And hopefully a wing and a prayer. No, there's no cheating done. They did well. They did well, as did we. Our team gave a good shot. I think we were always the firm underdogs, Ryan. With a community 4 times the size of mine, he should have won even easier than they did. We were ahead for a while. Yeah, there was a period there. I think we put the heebie-jeebies up Team FSG and they lifted their game and they saw that. It feels like there's a lot of grass going on down here at the moment. A good sized field. So we've only got a cedar at the moment, so we're kind of limited in our options. Actually, that's one thing you need to have a think about, because there is a few other options for crops: rice, sprout, triticale, millet, lucerne, carrot, onion, hops, chickpeas, and lentils. So we might have to have a look at a little bit into the economy, see what's going to be worth doing. But it's probably going to be something like wheat to start off with, something we can get some straw off as well. Double up on that income, but we'll just have to wait and see. Pink, is this the start of the series with FSG? No, not today, not this one. But funny you should ask that, actually, Henk, because we are going to be reconsidering, and it will be time to move on from Aussie Farms very soon. So keep an eye out on both our community pages on YouTube, because we are going to put up a bit of a poll. We've got some map ideas, and we kind of want to get your opinions on where you'd like to see us go. At least with this family. Yeah, not a river. Well, It's a wee way to the river. There's a river there, and that's when I was looking at buying one of these plots over here. I decided not to. So now we're safe. Need a challenge versus serve with no silage sales. Fight fire with fire, Ben, if there's silage sales. Just need to get onto that bandwagon and make the most of it too. The new oaks from Briscoe. Actually, we haven't talked about that one. We're wanting loosely, without, yeah, there's a poll coming out soon. If not tonight, then tomorrow. It's still a couple of weeks away from transitioning, but we've talked about going on to something with smaller fields, somewhere where we can work through 4 or 5 fields in an episode, or one of us could be working in one field doing something and someone could be working in the other field, or maybe going back to something like when we were on Marksville where we had 2 farms. Well, maybe we'll have an arable farm and a cattle farm or something like that. So that's kind of what we were thinking, a little bit more diversity, I suppose. Feel that while the big equipment always seems really popular, like the Anna and the Aussie farms, I think we just need a bit of variety too. So we've got some ideas on maps that would fit that bill, and maps we haven't, neither of us really played on, so let's figure out which one's going to work best. That's the new oaks. Oh, I know he's done smaller fields. Just how much smaller fields? I think even the fields, some of the smaller fields on the old oaks I've worked in pretty too big. But could be. We're also, FSG and I are both very much of the opinion that we don't play on maps early, other than for a map preview. So I think we both kind of would resist doing a series on a map that wasn't available to everyone else. Hence waiting for this to be released before I've done anything on it. Been studying over an exam for work tomorrow. Need some sleep. Catch you later. Cheers, Chinook. Appreciate the gifted memberships earlier, my friend. All the best for your test. Thanks for sharing those photos airside as well. It's kind of interesting. Love to see some more. I'm sure there will be plenty. Particularly when you get some interesting aircraft up there. Mainly it's big farm stuff, as I generally deal with 100 to 50 horsepower farm equipment, so it's nice to do something different. People think I'm mad for working 50 hours and still not sure how many hours on farms. Yeah. Is this released? 100% mark. It was released on King Mods on Sunday night our time. Link in the description. Your choice would be this map. We make a good mean team. Thank you, Hink. I mean, we could do small farms on this, but I think FSG's talking about putting this on as a server on his setting this up as a server for his community as well. But yes, it is out on King Mods. If you're only just tuning in, we have spent the better part of an hour and a quarter or so building the farm. So you can see our farmyard over there was just grass not that long ago. So we've got a couple of storage sheds. We've used the Easy Span steel sheds. They're also by Aussie Modding Co-op and available on King Mods as well. Got a bit of anywhere object storage in there for some bale storage. Also got a couple of other mods I've been working on, 2 in there that I'm just testing out. You can see one of them just coming into shape there, which is a bulk Bulk storage bins. That's a buy point for lime, fertilizer, and stones. You want to buy any of those? The reason for stones is I guess you could have the lime crushing mod. I could have actually made it. I wonder if I could make it a sell point for stones as well, so you can collect your stones and sell them there. Could always do that. How much money did I give yourself to start with? So I've spent $1.1 million on equipment. There's 400,000 on the land, and I've spent about 400,000 on landscaping. So I've basically, to get to where I'm at so far, Mark, I've spent 2 million. And that 2 million is going to go as deep into a loan using the loan system as I can. I think the max I could get to was about 1.84 million just with equity and things like that. What I might actually do is I can cheat the system, as I can artificially add in $300,000-$400,000 into my bank account to then be able to take a loan down on the equivalent value of work, of money I've spent getting things set up, which is what I intend to do. So it's a start from scratch where we're starting with nothing from a farm perspective, but we're starting with equipment and a farm. Oh no, because we built the farm, but we're starting with equipment. The other thing I've limited my equipment is to the tractors and the combine and the truck are pre-1990s. So we've got, this is the 4955, we've got a Case Traction King, we've got a Case 2188 combine with the 20-foot header on it, so not big equipment, and limited to 300 horsepower max. So the idea is, as we go through the year, next year the horsepower limit would increase, so after 1 year in the map we'd be able to get a 400 horsepower tractor if we could afford it. 2 years 500, so on and so forth, and the age restriction kind of increases as we go through too. So give me 3 years, I might be able to get a 2024 Case Quad Track 715, for example. So that's the plan anyhow. Course plan auto drive, I will use those. They will have wages attached to them, more in the interests of progress than making things easier. I don't want to. That was my fear playing this map, was how do you progress something when it's so big. So yeah, that will be it will be in the interest of progress. So for example, while we're combining, I could be running a baler, or vice versa. I could be running a combine while there's a worker running a baler. End goal is to have $20 million of equity, so land, equipment, farmyard, all of those kind of things, to a value of $20 million. Use daily deductions and set worker fees. Yeah, I could do that too. I wouldn't want to do that if I wasn't using a worker one day though. Go to a 24 to 28 foot front for the 2188. 20 foot's a bit small for Aussie yields. True, although I don't think this map's been adjusted for Aussie yields, has it? It's a good question, I don't know. I don't know if there was a yield adjustments on it or not. I've also bought it already, and I don't really want to have to go through the process of resetting them up. But yeah, I know, you're right, and that'll encourage me to potentially look at what I upgrade first, or buy new, or do as we go through it all. Ryan, am I going to cut those trees down or delete them using EasyDev? The plan is to cut them down. I'm going to leave them for now. They are just an obstacle in the field. I'm going to make the most of working around them, but I will go through and we will make some money. So once we've got some crops in the ground, there might be a period where actually we don't have any farm work to do as such, and we need to be we cut some trees down, make it to cash. We might get to the point where we need some money, and it's the only way we can make some. The other thing, I'm not playing with seasons, again, in the interest of progress, and being able to have a crop growing in one field, and while we're expanding the land on the other side. Can get away with big fronts on. Yes. Yes. Right. I really want to get this windroad so when we come on next week, we're bailing. And when you see the size of the windrow we've got, you understand why I'm not worried about it. Massive. Single day. I've got 2 day months set up at the moment, Thomas. But again, if I need to skip them through, skip them through. Just mindful of the fact I'm going to have a $10,000 loan bill every month. Or maybe a little bit less if I can go to that 30-year loan. We'll see. Careful cutting the trees down with a VPA. They can come and bang on the door as loud as they like. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. Don't you dare cutting those trees. Finish farm, you've got more than enough trees in Finland, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, Jaked Up, how you doing? See you. Good morning from the eastern United States. Nice to have your company. Now this is one tree I probably should cut down, but again, not high on the priorities at the moment. You know, a farmer that cut some down, the EPA used satellite imagery to send him a fine. Even a dead tree has to be inspected and approved as it may be a house to a rare fly or something. Is that right? Wow, we don't have that level of control here. If it was native, that's a different story, but anything else, fair game. I mean, you don't want those rare flies to not be able to fly to the tree next door, do you? Gosh, who was completely off topic in that and pretty devastating accident, but that bridge in Baltimore, that was absolutely incredible just watching that, seeing that happen. Having a little bit of knowledge about structures and how things stand up and work is just mind-boggling to see that. I didn't get the sense of scale of it until you saw the ship sitting there with all those containers on it. That's why sometimes you'll see big fields with crops growing around one random tree in the way. Such a headache. I can imagine it'd be a headache. It'd be real frustrating. Right, that's that done. I think I'm just going to dump this in here. These sheds are massive. Look at the size of it. Probably ever done it on the shed front, but leave that there. And now, in the interest of time, yeah, let's take the ute. There's our mate in the front. Flag on the front corner. Help with your parallel parking. We'll go bring the V-rake back behind this. EPA held up a bridge project for some box turtles in your area. Oh, definitely with roading and that we've had some astronomical amount of money spent on relocating lizards and snails and frogs and things like that for some projects. Definitely happens. It did fold like origami. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty big project, even just to be able to clear away the debris to be able to get the port back open. Been across that bridge many times, joked up. Yeah, I think that brings it even sort of closer to home, doesn't it? When you're intimately familiar with something like that. Ooh, twitchy at 81 miles per hour. Goodness, if we go any further, faster, we'll be back to the future. Force equals mass times acceleration. That ship had a lot of mass. Oh, 100%. Certainly did. It was more the fact that once that support gave way is how much else disappeared. God, we could get in this gate. Alright. Let's have a look here. Let's get this beast hooked up. Now, how wide is this? I can't remember now. So this thing is massive. Windrows. 12 meters. Ah, it's not as big as I thought it was. Not much bigger than a not much bigger than a twin drum rake, is it? But look at it behind here. Whee! Not like getting towed behind to pick up much either. The train goes past quite a few times, doesn't it? Good to see. Bit of visual interest. Oh my goodness. Which? Be too much weight on the back, I think. Even with my little mini steering wheel, I'm going to get in a tank slapper. Yeesh. With the rear steer axles, this doesn't help. Thought we'd beat the train, but I don't think we're going to. Even turns like a Hilux, right? How much support that? How much it was holding weight-wise, yeah. Yep. Pretty incredible. Well, my little experiment here probably hasn't actually paid off because we're going to spend longer driving if we'd done it normally. See, no. Right, I need to get in a straight line and then not turn. If I want to turn, I need to slow down. Past your bedtime. See you, Bo. Thanks, mate. We'll I'll sort out that canola with you some stage. Crash count. Yeah. What are we up to so far? Just driving back here. I don't even want to turn. I'm just going to go straight onto the grass. Past my bedtime, Thomas. I want to get this rigged up, or at least started. Maybe we'll just go around it once. Easy, easy, easy does it. Rocky. Maybe add some debt for a new spine. Yeah, have to fund a hospital. Need to put some fences up here at the entrance, and like I've said every time I've driven in here, I got a bit carried away on the width of the road, but ugh, that wasn't even that fast. So close. Any plans for the long weekend? Only plans we've got Saturday. My boys are both playing in a football tournament down on the Kapiti coast, down in Parapara-Umu. So I'm coaching the under 11 team for that. But otherwise, absolutely nothing. I'm hoping my transmission belt turns up for my ride on lawnmower tomorrow because that broke on the weekend and I ordered one earlier in the week, so hoping that gets here in time so I can mow my lawns. Otherwise, we might be getting some work done on our driveway. So might spend some time clearing that off and getting it ready to be done. I always thought those Kiwi driver license came out of cornflake boxes. Now it's confirmed. That's the crap Aussie vehicles. Alright, look at that. It's not bad, is it? Alright, let's go around the field once, like I said. I think that is going to be all we've got time for tonight. We are going to get in here and make some silage. We've got the big square Heston baler, we've got the Heston bale wrapper. And that's going to be our first, hopefully our first income. Probably not actually, by the time they're fermented, we might actually manage to get some trees cut down or something like that. Might make some money off some trees, we'll see. Collision on the tree, yep. And just drive into those, Argsy. Crash counter plus 10. This is what I get for staying up streaming longer than I was planning on doing. We're at 45 hectares of sugar beet almost ready on Carpathian countryside. That's your plan. Nice, Michael. That's impressive. If you need a hand, don't ask me. Plan to smoke something, maybe rolled pork or ribs, been using that smoker I bought yourself for your birthday. Nice. Wait for forgiveness, then permission. Solid, good effort, mate. It'll be done sometimes, doesn't it? Alright, this is going to be a good windrow, I reckon. Not a bad width, 12 meters. So pretty good. So we'll be back next week and we will be wrapping. We'll finish windrowing, wrapping, loading, no auto load. I haven't allowed myself the privilege of that. So it will just be wrap, bale, wrap and load, and then they'll probably just go into storage until they're fermented. And then we'll be in here with the plough, so hopefully nice to be able to get that done. Of course, like I said, we do have precision farming. I have to give it some thought on the soil data. I hadn't actually given that any consideration. Don't really have the, it might be something we have to compromise on again, that we don't have the money to purchase right up from front, so we might have to make some money before we can actually get that info in. Something to think about. Just drop the phone on you, time to leave. It's normally my sign that I need to put the phone down and go to sleep, is when you open your eyes and it's laying on your head. Enjoy the long weekend, Thomas. Thanks for your company tonight. Download the modded scanner, which is a lot wider. Could do. Could do. Still have to pay for the testing though, don't I? Worth it. Could be worth it. R2B2NZ. First time watching one of your streams and get a call out to your hometown. Good luck with the football tournament. Nice. Capity local, eh? There we go. Welcome along, mate. I am just up the road, not too far. Manawatu. But thanks for joining in. Nice to have you here. Always nice to have more of the Kiwis around. Right. There we go. That's once around. That's a pretty... Turn that off. That's a pretty good looking windrow, apart from the fact it's partly floating, but visual glitches aside, working out alright. We're going to get a good chunk of grass off this. It'll be good. So we'll be back, like I said, back next week. We'll get some baling done. Well, there we go. That's the bulk storage. There's a trigger in there. I don't know what that one is. Just figure out what that's doing. Not meant to be there. Anyhow. That's why we test these things, right? Anyhow, like I said, that is our first start here on Aussie Nomads. Sort of start from scratch, build our own adventure. And I've actually really enjoyed it tonight. It's been great to have so many of you hanging out with me. I actually feel bad having to leave you with 60 viewers here, because that's the biggest number I've had in a stream for a long time. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the concept behind it. This is going to be a live series, a live stream series I'll be doing over the next however long. We'll see how long it goes for. On Wednesdays, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. How do people feel? One question before we go. How do people feel about work being done off a stream? So let's imagine, as an example, I jumped on and windrowed all that field, and then next time we would just started straight baling. What do you want to see everything that goes on? Do you like when work's done in the background and there's some progress made between streams, between videos? I'd be interested to get your thoughts on that, because that's certainly something we could think about doing. It's easy enough to jump in and windrow for 10-15 minutes and getting it finished, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think it's going to work out really well. I don't mind doing background now and work fine with you, Ryan. Yeah, I think it's been good. It's going to be good fun. I'm going to enjoy it, actually. I've enjoyed the farm build. It's not finished to my liking, but I'm mindful of having that money, so I'll sort out the loans. That's good. Like you've windrowed and baled. Yeah, it's odd. I mean, I'd do the windrowing and then next time would be the baling. So a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of landscaping still needed. A little bit of tidying up around, but yeah, generally I'm pretty happy with how that's going to work out. Can't wait to actually see it with some big equipment in it when I actually get the chance to have some big equipment. But that's much further down the road. Get to play freely much more that way. Yeah, I think so. Have a good Easter weekend, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Mark. Same to you, my friend. Might see you around on the Oaks at some stage, or just around in general. A reminder, if you are a member, we'll be doing a stream on the weekend, jumping back onto a multiplayer server. I was going to be on Southern Pastures, which is a members only server, so you can get into that if you're a member. The other thing is, I mentioned it earlier, link your Discord and YouTube together. On Discord, I'm wanting to do once a week, having basically a members stream through Discord, where I'll be in a voice chat. I'll be recording a video, maybe Tahitian County. It could be Summer Dazed, probably more likely something a single player, so I'm not using too much bandwidth, which at the moment is Tahitian. But yeah, I'd love to just be sitting in there, and if you want to ask me a question, chew the fat, do whatever, I'll just be floating around. So welcome for anyone to join, so keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to ping people for it. I don't want to do too many notifications, but that's something I want to get into. So make sure you're on Discord and have your membership linked so that you get access to the channels. Anyhow, I'm going to do it. That is going to do it for me for tonight. Thank you everyone for hanging out. If you haven't already dropped a like, please make sure you do. Otherwise, we will catch you at some stage over the weekend. Being Easter, who knows, there might be an extra stream somewhere in there as well, just because I've got a couple of extra days off. So we'll see how we go. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. If I don't see you over the Easter, please have a safe, happy holiday with your family, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.